Well, the home-based worker contributes to the city in several different ways. They contribute to the household, they contribute to the community, they take care of the care functions within the family. They are providing cheap goods, and sometimes they some of the products that they produce are not so cheap, but of course they are not getting any remuneration which is commensurate with their work or the final price of the product. They are also buyers of raw material, so they create a market. So they contribute in many different ways, and in large in the amount is quite large. I think amongst our informal sector workers, home-based workers are the most invisible, and invisibility marks home-based work and home-based workers. Working from their home, they are not visible, they have very few statistics and very few policies targeted specifically at them. In India, we do have some sectors like the welfare boards and BD, etc., which have targeted one sector of the home-based workers, but largely they have remained unexplored by the policymakers and city planners. Well, I think the critical thing is for them to understand that the living spaces for the home-based workers are also sites of production, and there are costs involved when these sites of production or living spaces are in poor condition, don't have infrastructure facilities, and how the home-based workers, it eats into the livelihood and income of the home-based workers. I think this is the critical point that we would like to make to planners and policymakers. All urban poor work and livelihood is critical to their very being, so they cannot engage in a policy process which is not looking at livelihoods. For them, the whole lives are around their livelihood, and day-to-day living leads to a meal at the end of the day. So to have a process, to have a planning process which does not engage or understand this engagement with livelihood that a poor urban worker or urban poor engages with, it just creates a gap between planning and the real lives of people who are going to live in the cities.